it do? What it do? Back at it, folks. I'm tired, super tired. Just got back from South by Southwest, and my flight got delayed in Houston. Shout out to H Town, man. So I look crazy, but it's all good. We got to make it happen. What up, Sid?
Hey, how y'all doing? Yeah, Vic's been all over. He's AI doing it, so super proud of him. Y'all should check out his recent article on LinkedIn.
Yeah, good
Whenever we release this, it's gonna be in the description, so y'all can go ahead and show him some love.
for sure. We gonna definitely do that. And today is actually just because we're on the AI stuff, and this is kind of AI friendly. GTC 24. I want to make sure that that's the correct let me see, GTC. Yeah, GTC 24. Yeah, I want to make sure that's the correct hashtag. Look up hashtag GTC 24. Today is for all the AI enthusiasts. It's like AI Woodstock. It's like AI Coachella. Nvidia is having their annual conference today, and it's going to be a lot of stuff going on with that. Be on the lookout for more information on that. But shout out to all my AI guys. But yeah, let's go ahead and knock out this second book. Before we do that, I think we alluded to it on the last video, but song of the day is going to be Blue Laces 2. And I'm freestyling this off the top of my head, so pardon me if I'm wrong, but I do believe Blue Laces 2 was on the Victory Lap. And check that out just to double check me. I'm Sid, but just from a fan's perspective, like hearing Blue Laces 1, that was on
Victory lap.
the yeah, thank you. So hearing Blue Laces one, as a fan, like that was actually my introduction into Nip. That album, like I had never heard of this kid before in my life, and live mixtapes had like a little banner, and it was this kid with this. He had the black and white logo with the black and white. It was like a black and white depiction of him, and then just in the top it's like the marathon. That was the first album. That was Blue Laces one, and then fast forward to where we are now with Blue Laces two on the victory lap. It's such a growth in his career. And like, this was when, he's sitting at the Grammys and he knows what the vibes are. And like, he had scaled his venture so much so to where he had already started having people buy his product $100 a CD or $1,000 a CD, right? And now it's like, all right, I'm already here, so let's get it. And same gritty street talk in Blue Laces 2 versus Blue Laces 1. It's just growth in it though, right? And I think it pairs well with going from Bobby Seale to Huey Newton because they were partners. You really have the growth of the party in both of these books. But when you hear that though, as a person getting introduced to Nip, like what you think, Sid?
I think so far, just in our series, we've gone across a wide range of books. Like from when we first started, I can't. What was the first book that we did? It was 48 Laws.
Yeah.
48 Laws, which is very on like the business side, and now we're kind of moving into like the nitty gritty, which is a lot of discrimination, economic issues, and the Black Panther, sorry, the Black Panther Party kind of took all that in and was like, no, we want equality for everybody. And I think as entrepreneurs and business owners, we could definitely relate to that because ain't no way you've gone throughout your journey you ain't experienced some type of economic disparity or discrimination or where you felt like you were kind of wronged. And I know the Black Panther Party was, a huge staple on making sure, at least African Americans, that we were treated equal. So I just love the progression that we're kind of going on right now.
Awesome, awesome. So let's talk about the book, Revolutionary Suicide by our dear late brother Huey P. Newton. It's an autobiographical insight on his life in the Black Panther Party, and it talks about protest and empowerment, and it really digs deep on the analysis of like racial and social and economic injustice in society from his vision. It's like one of those books that if you really get a chance to kind of lock in and read, you'll understand like his philanthropic work and understand like kind of like what his commitment to social justice and society was and the trials and tribulations that went through that, right? So whether it's just understanding that self-sacrifice for change is deliberate and it's an empowering choice, or it's one of those where you're understanding that, you know, the community service and self defense aspect of the whole core concept of the Black Panther Party. You know, this book kind of dives into that and just kind of weaves you through the thought of a revolutionary, right? I always fancy myself a misguided revolutionary because as a young man, you know, rap music just manipulated my mind to do and look at crazy stuff. But this book has always been in the forefront of my life, and I never read it. I never knew about it. I never knew anything about this book. You know, I just knew about the party. I knew everything about, you know, Huey and Stokely and Bobby and Angela Davis and all these people, right? But when you first kind of got hip to the book, Sid, like, what is your notions of it? Because you come to this in a little bit of a different perspective. Like, I'm a student of these folks, but like, this is more or less your introduction to them, correct?
Yeah, yeah. So for someone that's not like knee deep into it, like Vic, or as knowledgeable, for me, and a point that he mentioned was a lot of self sacrifice. Like you read these books, this book and the past one that we reviewed, go check out that YouTube video, like and subscribe. Is a lot of self sacrifice. I mean, you're not gonna see change if you don't start moving in whatever direction that may be. And Vic said it. They did protests. They went to the what am I trying to say? Judicial system. They were advocates. What's the word for that? Political advocacy. Maybe that's like the phrase I'm looking for. Advocacy. They were all about sacrifice. This stuff isn't something that is like, okay, well, this is going to take up a lot of time. It took up a lot of time, and they were always seeing the bigger picture, the bigger vision. Which, tying it back to entrepreneurship, which is another thing that we do on this channel, is kind of tying these books back into entrepreneurship. You always have to see that bigger picture, and there's going to be a lot of self-sacrifice. You might have to protest a little bit with depending on what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like Vixen AI. That we were talking before this. A lot of people are scared of AI. You know what I mean? What if there's something comes up similar to what's going on with TikTok? They're trying to ban TikTok right now, and there were people protesting outside in DC because they're like, no, this is like my stream of income. Like this app changed my life. So imagine that for AI, and like people like Vic are trailblazers for AI and helping us save time. So I think for me, like self-sacrifice is a huge thing, and just kind of setting things in motion. Don't just kind of sit back and wait. Like Black Panther Party, they never sat back and said, "Oh well, we're okay with the status quo." They're like, "No, we gotta make some change, and we're gonna go through these avenues to make it happen."
Yeah, and self-sacrifice is a real thing. Something that I think is important for entrepreneurs is don't be scared of change and
Hmm.
take risks. I think the biggest thing with what we're doing is that when you take a calculated risk, if you fail, be cool with it because it's definitely one of those things where if you take risks and those risks pay off or they don't pay off, the process of taking those risks, you learn from them, right? And that's everything that this book really references, whether it was like dealing with racism, police brutality, or economic inequalities. If you hear these things that they were, you know, striving for, you know, in the 70s and in the late 60s, like there's no change. Like it's still the same thing now. So
Absolutely.
take a risk and be able to understand how, you know, you could really come out and um, change the world, but you got to take that risk because if these guys wouldn't have pulled up in Cali, I think Reagan was the governor with pistols, like, hey, yo, we're gonna defend ourselves and our people. Like, where would we have been, right? So don't
Yeah.
be scared of the outcome. Just be scared of not taking a decision. I think that's the worst thing you can do.
Yeah.
Like, if you listen to us in these videos, like, share, and subscribe. If you like them, share it with a friend. You know, one of the things I say is like just understand that like me and her, we just locked in. We don't know what we doing. We just riding the vibes and we
Vibing.
just hope it works out. But if it don't work out, it's like hopefully the impact that we are going to leave on society would encourage other ones to do it because we don't got it all figured out at all, but
Yeah. I
neither
think we
did
have it all figured out. I think that's what
100%.
people like see online and stuff. Like, oh well, they started their business and it went perfect. Like, no, it didn't. They went through stuff. They went through peaks and valleys. You know what I mean? But yeah, you definitely have to take risks. I mean, be prepared to fail. I've gotten content with that. Me personally, like I was like, oh, I don't want to mess up. Ask be perfect. You gonna fail. you just,
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna let you know now. You are going to fail, but it's like Vic said. I mean, it's a great learning lesson. I mean, imagine if these people, the Black Panther Party especially, did was like, oh, well, we failed one time. We're done. Like, who knows where stuff would have been if they just quit after the first time? Like, you got to keep going.
Like something that is highlighted is the concept of active resistance against oppressive systems. We could take that modern day. Um, there's a lot of momentum and action around various different things. I think something that was alluded to a little while ago is that, we're looking to ban TikTok. I never got on TikTok just because I'm an old fuddy duddy, but I understand the concept of, hey, don't take my TikTok away from me because that's how I'm supporting and feeding my family, right?
Hmm.
But what I would say is if you see that and you see that that's about to happen, what can we do to create a ecosystem to where we don't have to depend on another person's platform to make money, right? Like don't get upset about TikTok leaving. Look at that as an opportunity for you to like buck the system and like be a testament for resilience and the power of collective action matters. So like if it's a bunch of y'all they're upset that TikTok is about to leave, we'll create a collaborative effort of free forming content that you can share with your collective networks, right? Because see, like me and Sid, we locked in. So when I posted my article about my experience in South by Southwest, she reposted it. Like everything she does, I reposted it. But if you're concerned about TikTok going away, if you're reading this or hearing this, it'd be dope if we turn this into some writing. I don't know if we're gonna do video podcast, but if you're locked into what we were talking about, like
Yeah.
consider that and then think about the notion of what Bobby and Huey were doing, right? Because it was definitely one of those things where like and at the time it was very important for them to make the changes, and it just it re-established the notions of violence and sacrifice and social change in this book, and then relating it to something specifically that you're dealing with in your life right now, whether it's TikTok, whether it's if you're listening to this and you need to make sure that you're trying to identify how to like get your schooling done, or like just take that next step, just turn on blue laces and just vibe out, and then just kind of read this book.
Yeah, yeah, you definitely have to be able to pivot. I mean, the Black Panther Party probably is a good example of a collective pivoting. Every obstacle that was thrown at them, they were able to pivot onto something new or pivot to further extend what they were trying to do. And as business owners, you have to be able to pivot. Like if you tell me TikTok is going down, has a potential of going down, and that's a mainstream of income, you better brainstorm, get creative to like, okay, how could I supplement this income just in case TikTok is banned? Not just sit and wait and then TikTok's banned and then you're like, wait, I don't have any income. But it's like, okay, you've been known this, you know what I mean? Like this has been a a, a long term thing that's been said. So I think from what Vic said, you have to be able to pivot and make adjustments. Like the Black Panther Party, they probably knew a lot of stuff was gonna get like, oh, here's the obstacle, here's the obstacle. They're like, okay, we foresee this many obstacles, but we're gonna change our route and go this way to get around those obstacles or to overcome those obstacles. So as business owners, you have to have that mindset of like, okay, I'm not gonna be stuck on this. I'm gonna be creative and kind of how else, kind of what Vic said. I mean, how else can I where else can I put my content? What other streaming income could I have? You know, don't just sit there and wait. And then when it happens, you're like, boo hoo. It's like, well, we all knew this was going to happen.
Oh yeah, and let this book motivate you, because really what it is, it's a manifesto calling for radical change within society. So if you're looking for some motivation from a historical standpoint, like just in 1966 when he and Bobby co-founded the party, like what was happening then and what's happening now, just think about how many more opportunities we have. Because see, like back then, like some young people listening to this, y'all know what an atlas is, y'all know what a rotary phone is, you know what I'm saying? Like there was no like Google, there was no like well, definitely wasn't no Google, but there was no like
When did Google
GPS
come
to
out?
I mean, I think I was around the .com boom, to be real. I mean, like I want to say like probably late '90s. Because I remember like, have you ever heard of Ash Jeeves?
No, I was born in
Yeah,
95.
yeah.
So,
See, like I'm gonna date myself. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like so, it's like a search engine. You know what I'm saying? Like Ash Jeeves.
oh,
I remember Ash Jeeves, and like I think Google and like Amazon, they was all survived that because like back then they had this big .com bubble. They had stuff like pets.com that went belly up and a lot of stuff. And because it's topical, a lot of people would say that the AI boom that we're going through right now, there might be an AI bubble. But I am going to make a suggestion. I am not a financial advisor. Do not take this for anything more than a guy who just likes finance. And then if you're interested in that, Ian Dunlap from Earn Your Leisure is a guy that I follow and I study him. And he made a suggestion to invest in NVIDIA many years ago. I think it was like 2 years ago. And I think NVIDIA is trading at like today it's like in the upper 800s, so like about 900. And I got it for like a buck 75, and yeah, crazy growth, and they are driving the market when it comes to AI. So we had alluded to today is GTC 24. Like we need to put that in the show notes. Like look pound GTC 24, man. If y'all really like trying to lock in with that AI stuff, like understand where the puck is going before somebody shoots it, right? And just like right now, if you're really trying to make sure that you're getting ahead of anything AI related, so you won't get jammed up. That is a good way to do it. Nvidia is a good thing to invest in. Follow that, and then also as it pertains to this book, just understand that it's definitely one of those things where it talks about the critique of capitalist structures and poverty and inequity. And I think that juxtaposes so well to what's going on with NVIDIA. NVIDIA is a great opportunity for you to get some equity in this AI boom. Nip used to talk about tech booms, and Nip used to. I remember when Nip was talking about putting QR codes on his shirts and having that, just do some
That's
stuff.
weird.
Oh man, like the guy, like yeah, I love. I'm so excited to like just teach you about Nip
Yeah,
from
that's
my point of
crazy.
view. Oh yeah, man, with like the story that he had on his block. I want to say it was on Crenshaw Slauson actually, right? I know they moved one up. There's a new one up on I think actually I don't know where it's at. I think it might be Melrose. Like I haven't been out there. I never went to the other one either, but like his whole objective was really centered to a certain extent around the stuff that the Panthers were doing, like empower your community and then go back to your community and like invest in your community. Cause like that neighborhood where he had that initial store, like the owners of like that plaza used to like try to run him up off the block or whatever. So he bought the whole thing and created a great thing there, right? And when we talk about inequities in society or whatnot, like, if you invest in NVIDIA, you got a little bit of money, take that equity and put it back in your community. Cause like I'm telling you, everything I'm doing with my AI venture, like, shout out to Mosby Court in Richmond, Virginia, shout out to Hillside, shout out to Wickham, shout out to all of the housing projects in the city, because like it's definitely one of those things where I want to go and support them and I want to teach them AI, right? So like that's exactly the time that I'm on, and that's the energy that we on, and it all correlates with the book, it all correlates with it.
Hear something?
No, 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 no. Hold on. So then, let me see. As as we move forward in the call, like I know we almost at time. Is it anything else that you kind of wanted to talk about or lock in on before we wrap?
I guess my thing is, as we discuss these books, like my takeaway for y'all is to kind of implement the tips that we're giving you. Like, I'm very new to entrepreneurship. I'm no expert at all. But I definitely, just from what I've learned in my 2.5 years of doing this, I would want y'all definitely to just take some tips and just take things back and like digest it, because like Vic said, I mean, with this book, the Black Panther movement is a great example. Black Panther Party, sorry, is a great example of people who are willing to push the envelope. They're willing to do whatever it takes to ultimately get what they deserve, and that's entrepreneurship. You have to push to get what you're striving for, what your goals are, whatever it may be. Even going back to the previous books that we read, Seize the Time, the 48 Laws of Power. Like, these books are resources that can give you tips to elevate yourself within your business. I mean, just take the time to read. Read, 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 read. I used to hate to read. I used to hate reading. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I used to hate reading. I would rather watch Netflix, but now I'm at the stage where it's like I need the knowledge, I need the resources. Like you always have to be seeking knowledge to grow, to kind of reach to where you want to get to. So that's definitely what I want y'all to take away as we talk about these books, because they all can relate to entrepreneurship. Every single one of them. You could like, okay, like that's a good in this scenario I might do this, or I might think about this differently. So that's definitely just like a tip or I take what I want y'all to have, and make sure you share this video with your friends, other entrepreneurs, whatever it may be, whatever it may be, and go buy the books. Like
Hundred
go
percent.
get the books. I
And then
those two.
let's lean in on that, right? And I think we'll probably add this somewhere, but like to just kind of further enrich your understanding about the discussion that we were talking about, and just to get a broader context on what we've talked about in these last two books. You know, this is a great book because it's a compilation of Newton's most significant work. It's insightful to about what was going on with the party, and his perspective on his legacy and its relevance today is important. Just to correlate that, we were already talking about Seize the Time, the story of the Black Panther Party, Huey Newton and Bobby Seale. That's the last one we talked about. That is an audio biographical account of key figures in the party, and it details and it recounts the pivotal events of the party and insights into like political and social context, right? But this is a third one. We might do a video on this, but it's not one of the NIPS books. But
Mhm.
um, the Black Against Empire: The History and Politics of the Black Panther Party by Joseph Bloom. That book provides an analytical history of the Black Panther Party, placing its rise and fall within the broader context of the civil rights movement in American politics. The
Mhm.
authors really explore the challenges to the U.S. establishment, and how it provoked, opposition. J. Edgar Hoover is somebody that I've referenced multiple times about, being a strong deterrent to the success of the party. And this third book is a comprehensive history of that. So it just really, talks about the government's response to the stuff that the party was doing, and explores the influence of what the party did on society. And from a contemporary standpoint, like Nip was talking about these books, as a younger guy, because I mean, like me and him really the same age. We're both 85 babies, and you're 95, so like this stuff that you're doing with your venture, right? Let's talk about it from a business perspective. It's going to outlive you. So everything that Sid has done, all the prayers that she has sent up, like she prayed for me at a very vulnerable moment in my life when I had a very close relative um, pass, and those prayers helped me to continue to move. And like what I'm doing with trying to teach people how to leverage AI in whatever capacity, it's like it's going to outlive us, right? Like the work the party did, the work Sid's doing, the work I'm doing. Just know that the first thing you got to do is just take the risk and just jump, and you're going to realize that the water only comes to your ankle, but then keep walking. And then when it comes to your knees, like don't get scared, just keep walking. And then eventually you're going to start treading water, and then you're going to start swimming in the deep end of the pool. And while you're doing that, had that song Blue Laces too in the background, and just remember what we was talking about these last two sessions, because it's not easy, man, but you know,
It's worth it.
boom.
It's worth
That's
it.
Yeah, I love when you finish my sentences, yo. You know how we, yeah, yeah.
It's worth it. You don't know who's waiting for you to start your business or to even jump. You know what I mean? Like Vic has helped me. Like his little sheet with like a bajillion prompts on it. I'm telling y'all. But imagine if Vic was like, "Nah, I'm too scared to do that." I would have never came across it. I would have never have known nothing about AI. Same with like the prayers that I do with my company, Let Go Let God. Imagine if I just like, no, like Vicky was in that time he needed those prayers. And I've come across people like I needed those prayers or I needed that support. Like you don't know who's waiting on you. And I bring God. God is the center of everything I do. Like God did not give you your gifts for you to just sit on it. It's your gift is waiting to impact somebody else, to maybe inspire them, to maybe to help them in a time of need. So don't sit on it. Gotta go
100%.
after it.
Yeah, every day, man. And to that end, like so we four down. We got about 20 books over here. So, I think the last two I chose, Sid, which ones you wanted what you want to think the next session about?
Let me go to the. Ooh, okay. There's some good titles on here. Let's go. Let's go. Three magic words.
Three magic words. Three magic words. Ooh, Yule Anderson. There we go. Um, Three magic words. I just highlighted it. So I see now that's a book. I like that. I don't know nothing about that book at all.
Okay.
So yeah. These first four, I was pretty locked in
We're
because
gonna give y'all the inside scoop. It stood out to me. So three magic words. I'm gonna do my homework.
for sure, for sure. Well, I mean, that's it on my end, man. I got a big day ahead of me. Just to kind of let y'all know where I'm at in my venture. Like I started an incubator with Startup Virginia last week, and then I start up another startup incubator tomorrow with Coffin Fast Track. Just to kind of be a constant learner. Like I always have a growth mindset. Like so, yeah, I started my AI business a year ago, and I was in beta testing. But like this year, now I gotta learn how to be a business minded, venturist, and that's what I got going on. So I'm fresh off the plane, and like these last 3 hours on the plane been nuts. But there was no way we were gonna lock in, and now I gotta get ready for that. But like, what you got? Shout out to March Madness too, man. Like I don't know
I
if you know.
know. My
Yeah, yeah.
bracket's done.
Yeah. I got to do a bracket, man. I'm usually a little better than that, but yeah,
Yeah, we have our brackets up on the fridge. We're gonna do a. I don't know what the bet is. The family bet to see who.
burpees. Whoever loses got to do burpees.
Oh no. If I lose, I'm just gonna be like, I'm not doing it. Y'all cannot make me do it. No, but no, I love everything you're doing, Vic. I mean, it's awesome. I mean, for me, I recently started officially launched the digital marketing discipleship movement, and this movement's to equip entrepreneurs like myself and Vic, or maybe you're just a digital marketing professional who's looking to use your God-given gift, which is communication, in like an online landscape. This movement is for you. It has a God-centered community. I send you weekly devotionals. We have weekly prayer calls. You get bi-weekly newsletters and one-on-one coaching. And the coaching is for digital marketing help, social media, email marketing, paid advertising, and then I also, of course, God is the ultimate business coach. So there's also a disciple link in the description. But I'm super excited about that because with me, faith, business, like how does it all kind of tie in together? And with our coach YB, shout out to him, definitely helped me kind of bring it all together. So super grateful.
Awesome, awesome. It's been a blessing. Looking forward to next steps, and I guess we're gonna go ahead and sign off, man. Like I don't know anything more to say than the marathon continues. You know the
Yeah.
vibes, man.
Mogul and they know that. Logo on my flow mat. Courtside Chamberlain.